and welcome again. Thanks very much for coming back and joining us on this second Google Hangout that we're going to talk about today, the subject of health and you, and also expanding that topic to include degenerative diseases. Now, last time we were talking about how from the time we're born, our bodies are degenerating, and I didn't go into that too much detail, but today I'm going to go into that subject in a lot more detail. And in particular, we're going to talk about free radicals and how they affect our bodies. So I'd like to cross over again to a PowerPoint presentation that I've done, and hopefully this will help you to see what I'm referring to. So sorry if you just bear with me just here for a sec. Here we go. So thanks again. So what we're talking about here is health, degenerative disease, and you. So we're going to cover our bodies and the many cells that make up the body. We're living longer but in poorer health. And why have we got poorer health? We're going to look at 3 degenerative diseases and the changing world in which we live, and then cellular nutrition. So our bodies are made up of 50 to 100 trillion cells, and to nourish our body we need to nourish each cell, and that requires 53 nutrients on a daily basis, and some of these are made in the body and some are actually external supply. So you can see how complex each cell is, and also remember that each cell has an electron that scoots around the outside of the cell. Oops, sorry, go back. So cellular health, if you remember back to what you probably first learned about cells, cells reproduce by dividing. And so a poor cell is going to reproduce after itself. It's going to reproduce a poor cell. So if it's a healthy cell, it's going to reproduce a healthy cell. And these are based on a couple of factors. Health of a cell is based on the environment and on the diet, what's the nutrients that are given to the cell. So it's important to have good nutrition. Now, on the subject of we're living longer but in poorer health, it used to be that infectious disease caused most deaths, but now it's degenerative disease. Today, poor diet and lifestyle choices are causing premature aging and degeneration, which I was talking about earlier. The impact of sugars in our diet, chemicals and changed farming practices have increased the speed of degeneration of our cells. So in effect, we're living longer, but we're actually in poorer health for a lot of that time. So what we find is that there's a number of diseases that are becoming more prevalent. It's an unfortunate reality that our lives are plagued by premature death from such diseases as cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and the list that you see there. The majority of these diseases are caused by poor lifestyle, as I said earlier. But it's never too late to change. And as you see down in the bottom corner here, the most important medical discovery of the last half century has been free radicals. Free radicals have been linked to 60 diseases that cause death. Or 60 diseases, just diseases generally. And most of them, of these 8 here, are caused by free radicals. Whoops, sorry. Let's look at cancer now. So there's over 200 different known cancers that affect humans. Bladder cancer, bowel, brain, breast, cervical, lung, lymphoma, the list goes on. In 2008, approximately 12.7 million cancers were diagnosed and 7.6 million people died from cancer worldwide. So it's a huge epidemic. But it's not contagious as such. It's degeneration of the body. Dementia. Dementia, once you've got it, it's not reversible. There's no cure. Dementia is the third leading cause of death in Australia alone. And dementia is not a normal part of aging. It's caused by our lifestyle choices. It's a progressive deterioration, so it's a degenerative disease. Diabetes. In 2011, diabetes caused 4.6 million deaths. Diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure, non-traumatic lower limb amputation, blindness, major heart and disease, and strokes. The most prevalent type of diabetes is type 2, acquired by dietary choices, lifestyle choices. So how does diabetes kill? It kills through cardiovascular, heart failure, cerebral hemorrhaging, liver cirrhosis, ruptured aortas, and more. But degenerative diseases is a great term, isn't it? Because it doesn't make too much sense. What does it mean? We talked earlier about the cell, and we talked about the electrons. All of these stresses that come into our lives from our lifestyle choices, from our food choices, from pollution, toxins, and other things, stress, that affect a part of our lifestyle these days, affect the electrons that scoot around the outside of our atoms and in our cells. And these electrons, once they break off, cause the cell to degenerate. If we've got antioxidants in our system, which are overloaded with excess electrons, these antioxidants can pair up unpaired cells and neutralize them. Kind of like if you put lime juice on an apple, you see that it would actually, you'd get this effect on one side where you didn't put the lime juice of it dying, and on the other side it actually survives. So oxidization is happening to us every minute of every day. We live in a changing world. We've got toxins from chemicals and that we put on our skin. We've got toxins coming from pollution. We've got stress and all of the things that affect our bodies. We've got a changing world in terms of food production. We've got chemicals. We've got no rotation. We've got gases going onto the products, and no longer do we have the veggie patch down the back. So cellular nutrition is critical to counter free radical attack, because all of these impacts from our current lifestyles impacts our cells, and so it's important to have cellular nutrition. Here's some of the resources that are used to put this together today. So just to recap, we're living longer but in poorer health. Free radicals are a primary cause of disease. Our cells are affected by changing farming, toxins, pollution, diet and lifestyle. And we're living to get optimal nutrition for our living, we need to have antioxidants and nutritional supplements. Here's where you can go and like us on Facebook, check it out, and subscribe to this YouTube clip. So thanks very much. Just come back. Thanks very much for listening in today, and I look forward to catching up with you again. In the meantime, wishing you all the best of health. Thanks again.